Welcome, 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 welcome. So now guys, welcome back. Today this is all about growing tomatoes. So now if you haven't watched the previous videos, please do so, because this is a continuation from where we left off. And this whole series is all about me growing my tomatoes in these plants. And depending on who you ask, this might be the smartest idea or the most stupidest idea that you've ever seen, because some say these tires, they're toxic, some say it's a brilliant idea because you're actually recycling tires. It all depends on who you ask. But in this plant, in this first tire that I showed you, this was the seedbed tire, and that tomato remaining, I'll make a plat for it. I'm going to keep it, I'm not going to remove it, even though the main crop is in these tires. That one I'm not going to remove it, I'm going to keep it. So now onto this one. We'll start from the bottom going up as always. So now let's look at these carrots. You can see them. Brilliant, guys. I don't know if you have any comments about this one, but I think these plants, they're actually spectacular. They're growing really well, guys. They're doing fine, doing well, and everything is fine. Oh, actually, sorry guys, if you hear funny noise in the background, it's actually because of my fan, and I'm sorry for that. Anyway, onto the main part. You can see this fruit cluster here on this tomato. Let's look upwards. You can see the flowers, guys. They are doing well, and you can also see some small fruit up there, which is quite awesome. And all these flowers, God willing, are going to produce fruit also. Now on to this tomato number 2. You can also see the fruit again. This is awesome, guys, because actually today's video is more about me showing you where the crop is right now. It's not more like educational stuff. I'm just going to be showing you like what the plant is right now. But then actually there's something wrong, guys. You can see, look at these leaves. They are now starting to get diseased. As you can see there, you look at it at the back side, you can see some whitish stuff. That does not look good, guys. That doesn't look good. You know, whenever you start seeing your leaves start looking funny and stuff, whenever you have a tomato plant, that means trouble. Because when tomatoes get diseases, the leaves, they change, and this means trouble. But anyways, given the stage that we are at right now, I think still we are going to manage to eat them. But still, it's not fine that they are getting diseased. I would have loved for them to remain disease free. But anyway, on time number 2, you can see the carrots. As compared to those ones, these ones, they are very few. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's because of sunlight or something. You don't know. I never know. But anyway, the growth in here, even the plant population, it's not awesome. It's really quite depressing. But anyways, it was never going to be perfect everywhere. But we'll see in the end how it turns out. But now on to the again. I'm showing you the fruit cluster in this tire. You can see there, even up there, you can see even more fruit clusters, which is awesome. Let's move on to the next one. You can see even the next one, those are also fruit clusters, and even up top there, we still have plenty of flowers, which is also promising to have those plenty of flowers, which is also promising to have plenty of fruit. Anyways, now let's move on to the third one. So let's look at this one, guys. You can see we don't have that many carrots in this tire here, but if you look at it very well, you can see that the few that we have in this plant, they actually grow very well, and they look amazing. But now on to the main fruit, which is the tomatoes again. Let's look here. Only have about two fruits, but then up top I don't see anything significant. Let's look at this other plant, and this one beside it. This one it's actually amazing, quite spectacular. We still have flowers, we have many fruit clusters, we have many flowers. I think this one is doing a spectacular job. But then its cousin, the one next to it, it's underperforming. This one is underperforming. It has got a few fruit. It's lazy. But no, it's not, guys. It still has flowers. I know it will come out fine. Don't mind, it was just a joke. It's not lazy. But now onto the next onto the the last tire of these front four. The keratin here, you can see we have sort of like a perfect amount of population in the perfect amount. It's perfect growth, which is awesome. But again, onto the main crop, which is the tomatoes. Again, you can see we are doing well. We are doing well. Even here you can see all this fruit, which is awesome, guys. And this is quite spectacular, guys. Awesome. Because all these flowers, God willing, again are going to turn into fruit, and that's awesome, because it means that we have many fruit. But then I've also made a discovery, guys, because if you look at some of these, in fact all of these tomatoes, if you look at them at the up top, you can see that it's more like it's a determinate variety. So I don't think it's going to grow any taller. You can see even the stems, the way they look, they don't look as if they are going to grow any taller. So maybe pruning them to a single stem wasn't such a good idea after all, because it means now we have got a very few fruit compared to the potential that these plants had. But then now that the process has been done, there's no way of reversing it. We can only sort of like take that as a measure to think about it the next time that we plant these tomatoes again. But then now you can see what I was showing you, that these are now starting to get diseased. You can see these leaves, they need to go. I will remove those as soon as I'm done with the video. They need to go, but they are starting to get diseased. But again, I still think we'll be able to eat them. But now we have just moved on to the other side, and let's start with this tomato here. And if you remember, guys, I actually told you that these plants here, the first four, now 3 on this side, now 3 because I removed this one here that I'm touching. I removed it because it wasn't growing anyway, because it was blocked by this one. So there was no point in keeping something that wasn't actually going to grow, that was actually going to bear any fruit. So it had to go, because it really was doing nothing there. So these ones, these first 3, they're actually of the same age with those ones that I showed you earlier, just that these ones I planted them maybe 2-3 weeks later than those ones. But despite that, I think they've quite actually grown very fast, and the catch-up growth is quite awesome, because these ones now, as you can see, they're now flowering. They now have got plenty of flowers. But even if you look at this one actually is now starting to produce fruit, which is quite awesome, because I planted these ones very late, but still they have managed to catch up with their colleagues, which is awesome, guys. And you can see the flowers, they're now beginning to produce fruit, which is quite awesome and spectacular. So we'll see how it goes from here, but otherwise these are the plants, they look fine, and we will eat fruit from this side as well. But now let's move on to the last child, because these 4 plants are the ones that they were the last to go into the ground. And these ones, I showed you the video where I actually transplanted them. You can also check the video, the last video I showed you when I was transplanting them, everything that we did. You can check out the video, guys, the previous video. But anyway, now they've actually grown. Yeah, the stems, they are now thick, and the plants, they look fine, and I'm happy with these ones. And we'll see where we go from here. But then if you remember, just recently I told you I had a theory that these ones, the other plants, they were a determinate variety, and maybe pruning them to a single stem wasn't such a good idea. So these ones, I'm going to let them be. I'm not going to prune them to become single stem. I'm going to leave them just like that. And as to exactly how many stems I will allow them to have, I don't know. There's no way of knowing, guys. We will see as we go. But I'll just let them have as many stems as possible and see whether I was right or wrong. It's more like an experiment, and we'll see. So these 4 plants, I will not be pruning them to single stem. I'll leave them just like that, let them have as many stems as possible, and see how they will differ compared to those ones. Anyways, guys, thank you for sticking around. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. and always give me ideas and tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. Thank you guys, you are awesome.